So, greeting the dark guest. And this is, when that moment, this was right around that moment when I just let down into complete hopeless sorrow and discovered that my sadness was loving me. Greeting the dark guest. No less than a Turkoman village headman am I obliged to show courtesy and hospitality to my guest, even this dark guest of emptiness, doubt, and despair. Simple oceanography, accepting the grave necessity to sink, to fall into the high compression deeps, to undergo the cold, dark, crushing transformation without hope or strategy. Something unaccountable bleeds through, uncanny radiance, simply from drawing so close to the ocean floor, the mantle and core. Simple oceanography, simple astrophysics. Before the star expands, it has to contract, grow frighteningly dense, and hot to initiate fusion. Only then does it expand. The foregoing, a paid political announcement for Althea, who calls at 7:40 a.m., me clutching for scraps of sleep after another 2 a.m. bedtime party extravaganza. Talk for an hour and a half with her, follow up on my audio tape safely arrived, and her process, wide swings from collapse and meaningless suicidal ideation to intense irradiation of light and bliss. What a tiger she's got by the tail. Paradox mad dog that I am, I celebrate the dark stuff, feel delicately for the right handle. She writes it down, then exercises it by tearing it from the journals and burning it, like the revolution that Patty ran in Alaska. I venture that once she learns to offer hospitality to this dark guest, its quality will change, and one day she'll miss the visit, the painful drama, and she might like having journal notes as a portrait. I recall my years ago experience of receiving my guest of emptiness, ache, and isolation, just determined to sit with it and sink into the deep ocean of this despair forever, if it took that, and found in short order that I reached solid bottom and sprang off with elastic, powerful leg pistons, relishing the rebound return to sunlit surface. One such protocol ruins the pattern. You get the idea to welcome the dark guest one time. Check him out. Serve him chai in a chipped ancient glass cup, passed from Bedouin hand to Bedouin hand, and thence to Persia, Hazara, all the way here, and suddenly the dark guest is softer than you ever thought possible. He shocks you, bestows vast unexpected wealth on you. No one has ever merely sat with him, silent and formal and courteous, crossed legs on carpets in a mud brick Turkoman hut. No one has ever just accepted the risk, even prescribed by the Quran, to welcome and show hospitality to the dark guest. Alas, brave village headman, there is such melancholy here. You will lose the dark guest that only now you learned to love. Your hospitality transforms him. He will return, but each time he calls in his wanderings, he will be less dark. He will grow soft, radiant, joyous. There will never be another dark guest as dark as he who first you risked all, welcoming quietly and abandoned of hope. Mark well this first visit. Years hence, you will cherish this. You will cherish it. All this seems to say that she is really healing, getting whole and healthy. Right on, Althea. I'm a hard, stubborn bastard. When I lean on a thing forever, it finally moves. Lean on Althea, lean on mortality, eventually it moves. The despair, terror, meaningless thing needs to be seen as a dynamic in order to get a handle on it. If it's intense, then it's wealth, money in the bank, Jake's psychic income, vary in your face. All you've got to do is convert it to exchangeable currency. Step back a half step for the larger, clearer view and look for the dynamic. Althea has clearly got a stable, witnessing self, proven by nothing else but that she has gotten unbelievably far already. then that same witness self can pick out the dynamic and learn to trust and welcome it. Skip the content of the service, the self-esteem collapse, and look for the ocean trench compression, the star core fusion gravity vice. Look for the force field of crisis energizing that absolutely is going on. And for the doubt gap, while you're marking time before the next thermonuclear fusion outpulse, hum a few bars of Brahms or skate into a few samba sidesteps. The Doppler redshift is already in the mail.